there's this famous episode where a group of Mujahideen leaders
Yeah,
are at the White House, all with their
right.
turbans galore, and they're looking all
Yeah,
this. And
sure.
you're there with Ronald Reagan, and
Right,
one of the leaders, Mohammad Yunus Khalis,
right.
he invites Ronald Reagan to convert to Islam. So
Yeah, that's true.
give us that episode.
Well, first, Maulavi Khalis, I had met him because when I then moved to the State Department, as I mentioned that I had, Afghanistan was given one of my accounts, so to speak. So I had
Yeah.
gone to Pakistan because this was a defining fight between the Afghan Mujahideen and the Soviet occupation forces. And we thought that the Soviets are likely to, at the end, win. But we wanted to make life as difficult as possible. And the lesson to me is, and for others, don't make assumptions because you could be wrong, and you have, based on that assumption, have made decisions that later on could come back and bite you in whatever. But nevertheless, the goal was to impose military costs, economic costs, political costs. So we were working hard to get support from around the world, making the Mujahideen leaders like Ahmad Shah Massoud become a kind of Che Guevara figure so that the young people around the world could identify with. We would encourage Muslims to support the cause. This was a godless communist country had invaded a peaceful Islamic land, encouraged fighters from other parts of the Islamic world to go
And
join in this.
Charlie Wilson brought a bit of glamour to the whole thing.
Charlie Wilson became a star in this. Reagan believed it very strongly. So when the delegation, Reagan wanted to meet an Afghan delegation very badly before his meetings with Gorbachev to express support and show that America had a strong connection with this fight. So ultimately, Maulavi Khalis came, and when he arrived in Washington, I got a message through an Afghan, I forget who, that he wanted to see me. So I went over to his hotel, and he said, I have a problem. You have to help me. I said, what is the problem? He said, the only condition, they had one condition, the other Mujahideen leaders, like Gulbuddin Ekmatjar, and in particular, he said that if you want to go and see Reagan, the American president, first, we shouldn't go to see him. What is this? It's going to be a photo op because we deal with them here. We discuss what to do, what weapons, and so forth. What is this idea of visiting? It's for a photo opportunity, so the world can see that we work for America, so to speak, and that's not good. That's not a good image. The only way, and Prophet Muhammad and the Khulafai Rashideen, the successors, sent emissaries to non-believing areas, but the objective of those delegations were to invite them to Islam, those others. So this is the only legitimate reason.
So this became a cover, kind of, an excuse of a cover.
Excuse to give them an excuse to go. So he said, but they set a condition, and now I have to deliver. And I'm very concerned about the impact that could have. What's your advice? I said, this is a serious matter that you are raising. I don't know, frankly, how the American president react? Are you sure you are dependent on assistance from the United States? He's not dependent as much on you as you are on him. So I said, let me check. He said, please check and see how we can do this so that it doesn't create a crisis. So I went over to the White House and talked to the Deputy National Security Advisor, who was a friend of mine, and I said, the Mujahideen head of the delegation, and the president wants badly to see them. He said he's come with this thing. He has to get this out of the way. He said to me, sit down. The Deputy National Security, Don Fortier, I remember him. He wasn't quite nervous too about this. And said, sit and wait here. Give me an hour. I'm going to go in to see the president on something else in half an hour, and I'll ask him. So he comes back. He said, the president said, don't worry, bring them in. Not to worry. So we go in the next day.
That is so Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, not to worry. We go in, and I told Khalis that evening that the president says, fine, you have to do what you have to do. No worries. Come on in. So we go in there, and I end up being the interpreter in this meeting because someone that they had identified, the contractor who worked for one of the agencies, ended up, he didn't have a security clearance, and somebody vetoed to bring somebody that had no security clearances and so on to the White House to be next to the president. Secretary Schultz said, Lal, I think you're going to do this. So boom, I sit in between President Reagan and Mr. Khalis. I had never interpreted in that like that, and I didn't know what it required. So when Khalis said something, I would whisper it in the president's ear, more or less. That this is what he said. He said to me, "Please speak loudly so that the Vice President, Schultz, Weinberger, and all these leaders of the U.S. government were there could hear it." But in any case, the president, Mr. Khalis, did propose that we have brought you the message of Islam. It's the message of peace. It's the message from God. Reagan was prepared. And he said, I remember it very well. He said, we have our own religion. But today, the fault line, the struggle is between believers and non-believers. And we are on the same side, you and I, Mr. Khalis. And I could not believe how he relaxed. Khalis was kind of sweating, became very relaxed with that answer that we are on the same side in the current struggle, which is between believers and non-believers.
But of course,
the communists are non-believers. Yeah.
But of course, you're dealing with Ronald Reagan, the actor, the superstar.
Yeah. And he loved the photo of himself with this colorful red beard, turban. Huge guy. This was one of his favorite photos, and he took it with him, that photo, among the photos that he selected to take with him to California when his second term finished.